This conference will now be recorded.
All right, welcome y'all this evening, June 10th. I can't believe almost half of June is over. Let's go say, my name's Kim. I'm from Iowa, relapsing and remitting, diagnosed 2012, currently on Ocrevus. And I actually want some time tonight, so let me remind me to talk. But we'll go ahead and start. Karen, you were here first. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Um, I'm Karen. I'm in Oakland, California, the San Francisco Bay. I've got primary progressive multiple sclerosis, the one they say nobody wants, but I'm like, well, I don't really want relapse and remitting. So since I got diagnosed much later, no meds for me because there's nothing to stop this horrible thing going on. And I already took a little time, so I could take time later on about other things.
Okay. Thanks, Karen. And we will now go on to Juan Carlos. Welcome. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my first time. I also have relapse remitting, but I think I'm going into secondary. So yeah, I don't have to explain it. You guys understand how it is, trying to survive.
Okay. Thank you. And let's go down to Andrea. Welcome. Introduce yourself, please.
Can we just
Tonight.
check? Can we just check with Can we just check with JC? Where are you located, and are you on any drugs?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I am in the state of Washington, and I am taking Kesimpta right now.
I didn't
Say,
hear that. Yeah, it was sounded muffled.
Oh,
I
maybe my
think
headsets
there's
are
some
dying.
feedback with Andrea. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am from the state of Washington. That's where I live right now. And I'm taking Kesimpta once a month.
And
I
how'd you hear
used to
about AnCan?
um research online, you know, kind of fell in a rabbit hole and ended up here.
Oh, okay.
That'll
Excellent.
happen.
Yeah. Well, I ended up here, which is better than any other uh, rabbit hole I could have fallen down.
All right, let's head over to Andrea. Let's try this again. And I feel like we were getting some feedback from you when you have your mute off, Andrea. So,
Yeah, probably from my speaker. So my name is Andrea. I live in North Carolina. I was diagnosed in 2012. I am on Ocrevus. Um, I don't know, maybe just a couple of minutes.
okay. All right. And John, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
There we go. My name is John, and I'm from Mid Michigan. I was diagnosed in 2016 with relapsing remitting, and I'm on Zeposia now. And Kim, yes, I'd like a couple minutes,
Okay. Thank
up to
you.
an hour and a half.
We only have so much time, so I gotta make sure everyone gets a chance. Thank you, John. And Carmen, welcome. Introduce yourself. Let us know if you need
Hey
time tonight.
everybody. Hello, I'm Carmen from Canada. I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia, and I have primary progressive MS. I was diagnosed in 2014. I was on Ocrevus for a number of years in my first clinical trial and my second clinical trial. I am now on, oh, Rick, you might have to say it for me. I've got a mind blank right now. Mm, it's a new medication. It was a
Yeah.
randomized control
No.
trial, tolebrutinib. Tolebrutinib. There we go.
Yeah.
Um, I've been on it for about 5 weeks now, officially. I don't know if I was on placebo or the medication up until about 5 weeks ago. And Do I want anything? I don't know. I'll just join in, you know. I can't really keep my mouth shut when you guys have things to say, so
Okay.
I
Well,
don't have
thank
anything
you.
specific. Nice to see everybody.
Well, that's why you're a moderator, because we don't want you to keep your mouth shut, Miss Carmen.
I know, but I haven't been doing very much moderating lately. I've just been too swamped. So anyway.
Okay, thank you. And Jennifer, welcome. Introduce yourself. Let's know if you need time tonight.
Okay, hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm from Michigan. I was diagnosed in 1997. Holy cats. Diagnosed with primary progressive, or no, excuse me. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting, but I am now under that secondary progressive classification. And I treat my MS with a every 6 month infusion called rituximab. And I don't know if I need time to talk tonight. I'll be hanging with Carmen, just chiming in as I
Okay.
get.
Thank you, Jennifer. And then next, welcome, Christy. Introduce yourself, please. Let us know if you need time tonight.
Okay. Hi, I'm Christy. I am in Phoenix, Arizona. I was diagnosed in 2003 with relapse remitting. I am now secondary progressive. Um, and yes, I would like a couple of minutes since it's been a hot minute since I've been to the group. um, but yeah. And RC, real quick, when were you diagnosed with your MS?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I am one of the oldest ones here. I was diagnosed in 1991.
Okay.
Ah,
I've had it since I was 18. I was
Oh,
wow.
diagnosed a year later. It's been a long time for me.
yeah. Okay. I was just curious since you're new to the group. I just wanted to see when you were diagnosed. Um,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
been a
mean,
while.
yeah, it's been a while, and to still be on R&R, um, and you're
I,
saying that you're possibly moving into secondary progressive, but
yeah,
let's just hope you stay in relapse remit, because for as long as you've been diagnosed, to
yeah,
maintain in the relapse remit is amazing. So yeah, sorry. And also
yeah.
I'm battling a cold, so don't mind me.
It's okay. Thanks
All
for
right.
asking.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay. All
Last but
right.
not least, welcome back, stranger Sherry. Hello.
Hi,
Introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Sherry from Gaylord, Michigan. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting in 2008. No, I just wanted to stop in and see everyone.
Okay, it's great seeing you. I saw her
Y-
last time. Was the writing class? Was it you were in the
Yeah,
writing class last couple? Yeah, that's
yeah.
where we've been hanging. Are you coming in? Is it this week? I think the writing
It
class is
is.
this
It's
Thursday.
Thursday, and I don't have anything written.
It's not a hard one. It's a hard one.
The-
AnCan has just on the side.
It's not
AnCan
too
has a
late.
writing group once a month if you guys want to join it. Regina from the Sarcoidosis, she's a moderator. She's a published author. She's amazing. So check it out if you're interested. So
It's not too late, okay, Sherry? Here's my cheater thing. I'll just tell you how, well, then you'll know. No, it doesn't matter. You'll know it's me. Because the prompt was like, talk about a secret that you had
Yeah.
to reveal. That's too scary. So, or you can write about anything you want, but I haven't finished. I just started and I went, I don't have a lot of secrets, but my mother did.
Oh.
And I
okay.
have to carry her secrets. So that's a good cheater way to get around it.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with Andrea. What did you want to talk about this evening?
So I just I switched to my earbuds. You guys can hear me without an echo?
Mhm.
Excellent. Um, I don't know. I just want to say that like this spring was really busy from going to DC with the National MS Society, going to Raleigh with the National MS Society, my birthday, helping my friend take care of her senile mother, having doctor's appointments for the Social Security disability stuff that are an hour and a half away that I have to drive to in on roads that I'm not used to driving on and people visiting and so not like it's all stress, like bad stuff, good stuff, and and my friend every year has an event, so I was helping her with that. And I mean, just I stopped being able to think. Like I couldn't make a decision. I could barely feed myself. I mean, I missed, it, all sorts of things. Like I'm supposed to make phone calls or I'm supposed to do this, that, or the other. And I'm like missing appointments. And um, so it all kind of came to a head Memorial Day weekend, meaning that was kind of the last big activity. I had friends come and we had a wonderful time and it was really great. Um, and then and then I just sat here for almost 2 weeks. Like the days just came and went. And I would just wake up and then I'd feel like, oh, it's dark and it's time to go to bed now. And like I've accomplished absolutely nothing for like 2 weeks. And I know I'm starting to come out of it a little bit because I think it was like Thursday or Friday I started, just for a few minutes, I started getting bored. So I know I'm coming out of it, but it just makes me so angry. I know I should listen to my body, but it's like everything seems to happen all at the same time. And I want to do all of it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That's it.
I hear you, Andrea. I mean, it really does suck because your time just like all of a sudden it just disappears and you're like, what did I do today? Like what happened? Especially after you've had a busy
Right,
time. And
right.
it's just like so
For
frustrating
like two
because
weeks.
you kind of overdid it, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like with all the doctor's visits and the hospital stay back in March, like when I got home, I was just in a stupor for like I was like 2 or 3 weeks where I just didn't know. Like, oh, your surgery's next week. Well, why? No one told us about that. Well, John, you remember you called this doctor? So like, yeah, forgetting appointments, forgetting stuff like that. Like I logged into AnCan tonight at 7:30 because that's when my D&D gaming logs in. So I walked in and there's like 50 people. I was like, holy shit, this is not my meeting. So Andrea, I hear you loud and clear, like super loud and clear. So I've recently had that experience myself, and it just, like I always say, that fucking sucks.
And they're going to deny me Social Security disability because I felt fine when I was at all the doctor's appointments. Like,
Hmm. What about your acting skills? Like you got to kick those into gear sometimes when you're having a good day and you don't want to be having a good day. The timing never works with effing
well,
MS though, right?
right. And I don't want to be caught lying to Social Security. Like,
Hmm
but
hmm
they can't see. when I get really, they don't see me when I'm in a stupor.
How does it work?
And
Do you
I
have
can,
to get signed off by a specific doctor for that, or is it just your own?
they
They
had
they,
me see like a
they
G,
review all.
yeah, like
It's
a GP doctor, and then I went to an eye doctor, and I went to a psychiatrist.
well, Andrea, also keep in mind that you're gonna do a phone interview with Social Security before they make their final decision. Um,
Okay.
and so, and it's not necessarily put on your acting skills. You know, you just speaking with you, you can tell that you have like you're incapable to work because you're like the rest of us, trouble finding words, completing a conversation. You have a lot of cognitive issues. So that's just one thing that I would keep in mind, that they also do a phone interview with you. And if you get denied
Okay.
again, then you go to a court, like a hearing. See, I got approved on my first go round. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the hearings are like, but what I've been told by my when I had my disability attorney is that if it makes it to the hearing, it's 99% going to be approved once it gets to the hearing stage.
You
But
just know.
and it's
I didn't know that I would have a phone interview, and I did try to get a lawyer to help me with it, but he wouldn't help me until I got denied. Like, well, that's ridiculous.
that,
But
yeah.
My case actually got turned down by a lawyer. Like this is a Hail Mary, you'll never get disability. And I made it to the face to face, right? Kind of was like, what the fuck?
The lawyer told you that you weren't going to get disability?
Unwinnable case. Hail Mary shot.
How long
Wow.
ago was this,
Oh,
John?
What's that?
How long ago was that?
November.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Started
And then you
applying.
showed up in person, and then what? They said, "Oh, different story."
Oh no, it was over video.
Oh,
And I'll just do like a quick synopsis on how it went. In the video chat was a doctor, like a vocational person, like find you a job, and then the judge. Of course, I asked Judge how much you know about MS. She said, I've seen a lot of cases. I'm good to go. So the doctor was able to like reference. So 14B goes to 17A. Like they filled out their paperwork fine. And he said, well, I would not have any problem diagnosing him with MS in 2016. And then the judge said, John, um, we're gonna dismiss the vocational guy because obviously that he's not gonna be able to help us here. So she sent him away. It's like I can't tell you if you want anything, but I've already made my decision. Like that was indicated by her saying like the vocational person got to go. So like it was really lucky. I haven't heard anyone having that kind of thing ever happening before. Like people just say, wait, they sent that person away. So I wish it was easier, but that sucks.
yeah.
I think the best thing to do, Andrea, is to be honest and go, look, I vary so much from day to day. I have no clue
right.
because that's what you experience. I mean, that's truthful. Like, I'd have no clue what I'm going to be like for day to day. And then if I push myself too much, then it takes a long time for me to recover. And I have all these
Well,
awful
I didn't.
symptoms of, cognition and all these other things to try to, and that's what makes you when I had my disability lawyer was great because he was the one that's like, yes, you have a case, but you have to hang in there because you're gonna get denied twice, and then we'll meet with the judge. And I actually got denied 4 times because I tried it myself the first 2 times, and I said, screw this, I'm not doing it. And then someone really rode me hard to reapply and do everything again. So then they got denied another 2 times. I went to the judge, and then they did it. But yeah, just honest about how variable your energy levels are from day to day. And, if you do a lot one day, the next day you're not going to be able to do it. And I always think about
Right.
myself, like if I was a Walmart greeter, I would do great the first day. The second day, I'd start having some problems, and then the third day, I would be toast, and it would take me a long time to recover.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to put it in a way that what's the word? It's measurable in a way. You know what I'm saying? So if you had a great, a fun weekend, and it took you 2 weeks to start feeling back to yourself again, that's what you need to talk about, like the recovery time. It's not like, what
I don't
time.
even remember what I put on the form. I cannot recall.
Right. And that's what you talk about too. Like, I don't even remember. And yeah, I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you do.
And I don't want to interrupt because Carmen, I know you have your hand up, but I have a quick question for you, Andrea. Have you been denied before?
No.
Okay, and my grandma has this expression, God rest your soul. Sorry, little spasm. Don't borrow trouble. If you have filled out the paperwork, you have the doctor's note, let's just hope and be positive that you will get approved and then cross that bridge when you get to it. Like, I'm saying all my prayers for you because I know that you've got the MS, and anybody who knows you, just let's
Right.
just be
It's
positive.
not I mean, it's not necessarily that I'm terribly worried about it. It's just another thing to have to do, another thing on your shoulder, another stress factor. That's all it is. And so this spring has just been full of it, both
Yeah.
good and bad stress. And so that's why then I finally just crashed.
Yeah.
And I hate my body for it. I hate it. Carmen?
Andrea, were you alone when were you alone when you kind of sunk down into whatever?
Oh, yes.
So, that has a lot to do with that. Well, here's something I mean, I'm hearing it now, but honestly, well, I don't even know when I first heard it if I had been to this group yet. But I'm going to say something like 3 years ago, I went to this barbecue place and I walked in and this guy who was in the bathroom, he's like, sorry. So, and then he's like, can I walk you to your car? He was embarrassed. Whatever, can I walk you to your car? And he like opens up the trunk and puts my walker in. And I said, I don't know if he asked me. I'm pretty sure he asked me what I had. I said, well, I'm sure you don't know anything about it. I have MS. He goes, no, actually, my ex-wife has, because my ex-wife has MS. There's a good place in Concord. And he said, my kids would tell me, or, she'd sit on the couch for like 6 hours at a time, not moving, just not moving, like being in a stupor. And, so then we had a place in this place. So I do sometimes sit on the couch for 6 hours in a stupor. And I was just grateful I mean, what are the odds? Especially, that some guy's going to go, oh, my ex-wife. But so, I mean, I don't know we could take a poll, how many people here have sat for 6 hours or more sitting in a stupor on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Carmen, sorry, I totally jumped in.
Okay, it's okay. No, I just wanted to say I wasn't implying that we lie, like acting. I just meant like, you know how you feel when you're tired. You just don't get in there and, hi, how are you? Like you actually, have the behavior that you would on the tired day. That's all I meant. So, of course, honesty is the best policy, and that's absolutely what I would recommend. So, I just wanted to make sure that nobody thought I was suggesting that we're like faking our disease because good God, we don't need any help with that department. Got enough
No,
shit going on.
heavens, no, but I will be the first to admit when I first got my handicap placard and I was still able to walk, that if I was having one of those good days like you were having, Andrea, and JC nodding his head, that I would walk with a little more of a limp if I was having a good day because no kidding, I have the MS. Come back if you think I'm
Mhm.
walking like a champ now. So
Yep. See me
And
when
I,
I'm done doing a tour of this big grocery store and then talk to me.
right. That's what
And
I was gonna say. I walk in perfectly fine because if I had to
hmm
walk all the way across the parking lot in a 90-degree day, forget it getting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
A friend, a fellow classmate, that she was coming out of the building as I was going in, but I didn't realize her at first. She said, "Must be nice having to be able to park out close." And, but like, she was joking, of course. Like, she was 100% joking. I was like, "I'm not helping you with homework this week." To her loss, it
I
was a
had a
joke.
friend with me one time and I parked in the handicap parking lot. She was like, "Can you maybe limp a little bit?" I was like, "Yeah, I could, but I'm not gonna."
I think
I'm
that we
kind of
live for them, not for us.
exactly. No, so I'm a bit of a rebel. I'm kind of like hoping that somebody will like confront me. Like I almost
Mm,
kind of hope for it.
daring them.
Nobody does.
What you
It's
gonna
so
say?
disappointing.
And what are you gonna
I'm
say?
gonna say, I'm gonna say, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was on a paratransit bus coming back from San Francisco, and this woman got on the bus. And it's by reservation. The woman got on the bus, and I was like, she doesn't look handicapped. Well, we start chatting. It's a long way back home. Guess what she has? MS. I'm like, yeah, like to even catch myself thinking that.
Right.
I have
And
not
that's
been
the type of
confronted.
conversation that I would want to have with that person is not to blow up at them, but to change their mind, like to explain to them why their first impression isn't always accurate and they don't know what they're talking about.
I've never been confronted, but my canned response is, "I'm sorry, my disability is invisible to you," and then just keep going. I don't have to explain or prove anything.
See, I love that. I now that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's a good one, Kim.
Because it's
I
Well,
think
since I'm
you don't need to prove anything.
Yeah.
You have a legal disability parking pass that's between you and your doctor. You don't have to prove it to anybody else.
hmm
I think
That's
we
right.
all kind of
Elmer
have to walk.
Sparky.
I think we all kind of have to walk with like blinders, but they're here. So we're like walking and we're looking at everybody that is looking at our same level. Everybody that doesn't see what we see, it's seeing beyond our level. So it's a waste of time to even worry about it because they just can't see it, you know? It's
And then
like Kim was
I had
saying,
the
it's
opposite.
invisible. How can you expect them to
But
see?
I had the opposite. I went to the pool. It was like a really hot day, and I took myself. I didn't think I can even drag myself there. And I got lots of help from the lifeguard. It's, oh, Karen, it's so good to see you. And then I'm in the shower. It's like what they call a gang shower, a gang of old ladies and young ladies naked, and somebody is from the synagogue I went to, and she's younger than me, but like maybe 10 years. And I had put my stuff down on a bench because I can't just do this. And I guess a friend of mine was there and she put her stuff in the corner. So when I got there, it was like, oh, it's really crowded. I cannot walk. I use a walker. I cannot walk. I mean, this is for several years. And she just said, well, I was here first. And I'm like, it's the opposite. I'm like, okay, you were here first.
when when I was on my honeymoon in Iceland, you have to take showers before you go into the thermal baths. And Melissa saw someone in a Segway wheeling around the shower, just doing her thing, then going in the bath in the tub or going into the springs. Just walk down is fine, but she needed more support. It was great because she just owned it. Melissa's like, so good though.
Let's introduce the new people that have arrived. So Jim, welcome. Go ahead and say where you're from and what you have, any medications you're on, if you need any time tonight.
Well, I'm Jim Kavanaugh. I'm not sure whether I should be in the group, but Jim Marshall. He's in the prostate cancer veterans group, and I basically have prostate cancer. I have some good news to share, but he also suggested that I should touch base with the MS group because I've had MS for 40 years. But knock on wood, that's all good. I also have heart issues. I have 5 heart stents put in, had a 95% blockage. So I have a lot of complexities, and also my kidney function is about 49%. So I have a lot going on. But anyway, he suggested because I'm open to sharing whatever might be helpful to anyone. And so as to the MS, I'm very fortunate. That was diagnosed 40 years ago, and I was on Solumedrol for a couple years. And after a while, the head of neurology came to me and said, Jim, I know you're a chemist. I wasn't a chemist, by the way, but I didn't challenge it. And he said, I have to tell you, I know the shelf life of the Solumedrol going in 3 days in a row, an hour at a time, eventually could shut down your adrenal glands. And from that day on, I stopped Solumedrol, and I haven't been on any MS medications for the last 38 years. That's the good news. Also good news, I learned this week with the prostate cancer, I was an aggressive cancer. Since August, it took them 4 months to diagnose it. I was a 12.1 PSA, if that means anything to anyone. And the results this week came down to 0.1, which is almost negligible for detectability. So again, there's overlaps in the things. So for whatever reason, he wanted me to share my information with you because I'm open. And I don't know if anything means to you. Many may have MS and other conditions, but in my case, I have several things going on. I am extremely tired from the Ergovix that they had me on and the radiation. I was sleeping 14 to 16 hours a day. So right now, I just made appointments for physical therapy because I'm kind of tired the way I used to be with MS years ago. So I don't know if some of that's coming back, but I also found out that I have severe sleep apnea. So I will be experimenting with Tubac machine shortly. So that's kind of an overview. If any of that makes sense, you can fire away and ask me any questions. So that's pretty much it.
Where are you at? What state are you in?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay. All right.
Can we harvest some of your blood to see if we can find like the cure for everything? Because you've had
Longevity.
everything, Jim. You could probably find out so many things.
Well, I'm going to say this, and this is not a religious commercial, but I had an experience when I had a 95% heart attack, and I prayed before a Salvatore Dali in expensive print, and I just said, as I was taking my last breath, Lord, I'm in your hands, do with me what you will. And I sensed an invisible hand in front of my right eye, and it did an MRI scan with heat and electricity. I lived through the night. I lived through the next month. And there's a series of mistakes that were made. But I'm totally convinced that it was intended to be, it was above my pay grade. I also became the face of the Heart Ornish program for Morristown and the East Coast. So there's actually a national story on me. And I know that people that have a heart condition, so if any of you either have a heart condition or there's one in your family or you know of anyone, I would recommend to you that you Google Ornish Heart Reversal Program and put in the subject line Jim Story 2015, and my ugly mugshot will appear and you'll know it's the right story. But there's 33 of us nationally. I know that the story has been helping people. I won't go through the details, but I know that's happening.
What
So
did you say to type in at the beginning? I missed that first word, Jim, please.
Ornish, Ornish.
Is it
Many
like
women
Dean
know
Ornish? Dr.
Christine
Dean
Ornish
Ornish?
is famous for diets. He's not famous for this program, but he ultimately could be because it is saving lives. I didn't want the story being told. I was one of the first 11 cohorts on the East Coast, and they're fantastic results. And he said, Jim, we'd like to write up your story. And I said, no, I don't want any attention. I get national and state awards for other things. I didn't want the attention. And I didn't tell him about the miracle. So actually, I'm saying it to you, and you're not going to read about the article in the program because it happened 4 months after the miracle in my house. So he doesn't even know that. So here I am sharing it with you guys, but I'm an open book.
Thanks
Could
for
somebody
sharing.
maybe put that link in the chat? I can't get the whole thing. I'd like to read it. I'm always interested.
Yeah, I'll do it. I've
Thank
actually got
you,
the
Carmen.
article here.
Oh, thank you.
It's a 2-page article. It initially had my wife in it picture, and the only reason I agreed to the national article once it went on the East Coast, I was reluctant. And then the guy said, he must have spoken to Ornish, and he said, he see you hesitating, and he said, I just remind you, you may save a life, because that's what hooked me when I initially decided not to. And he came back and said, if we print it, we may save a life. I'm glad that I did it because I literally know it is saving lives. I've had confirmation of that.
That's awesome, Jim. Thank you for sharing.
So,
Welcome. And then we have Jennifer, aka Big Red. Welcome back, stranger. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jennifer. I have MS. I'm not cured, darn it, but I'm from Richmond, Indiana. That's in one of those states over here. Big, yeah. Just I can't do it.
the Hoosier State.
The wonderful Indiana. Though I'm born a Buckeye.
The Hoosier
You're
State.
not a Hoosier, you're a Buckeye.
I'm a Buckeye. I'm just really close to Ohio.
Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
but that's to say the Ohio State, and that is very pretentious to have them have to say that.
But yes, I thought I'd pop on because I have it at my calendar, and I was like, I have time. I'm doing it right now. Might be a little late, but I'm here.
To see you. Did you have anything?
I miss you guys.
Share, or did you need time tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. All right. Should we head on over to John? What did you want to talk about tonight?
Oh, actually, I have a couple things to talk about. First, I want to ask. No, I'll ask this at the end. But last time we met, I was nervous about going to a concert, and that night turned into like it was exactly what I needed, exactly when I needed it, exactly perfect. The hotel room was a handicap accessible suite. Oh, there's room to like do donuts and have like 80 of your friends over, park their wheelchairs and just like party in the apartment, the thing. And so that was good. Like that's a big relief, right? Because you never know what accessible means when you go to a hotel. Like there's one less ottoman in the room or whatever. But no, it was great. And then we went to the concert, um, and the concert was at Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids. And Melissa and I were looking for a parking spot, and we pulled into a city ramp where you have to pay. And Melissa asked the lady, "Hey, where's? I don't know. I'm sure all these spots are filled for disabled parking, but my husband's in a wheelchair." The lady said, "Hold on, I got her a radio." I said, "Yeah, I've got a man in a wheelchair down here," and then she put me in the spot like right up by the place. Like we walked by the place back past her to get to the show, which is right across the street. And the accessibility at this arena was amazing. You know, we asked for accessible seating and actually ended up calling it an accessible suite. So we're on the same level as all the suites around, but like, you know, the rich people partying and stuff. and they had from where I was sitting in my wheelchair, like a chest high wall, and there's enough room for my chair, Melissa be in a comfy chair, and like drinks and stuff like that. Drinks that we totally did not bring in by ourselves in my medical backpack. Nothing like that ever happened.
Yay.
But no, it was awesome. Like, it was just really cool, and it was the loudest damn thing I've ever heard. It was so freaking loud, and I loved it. The band
Yay.
That's awesome.
is Primus, and they're the reason why I became a musician. Um, so it was really good, and for a couple of songs, I was able to stand up
Good.
long enough to get my headbang on. Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
And
And I'm assuming you were protected, so anyone crowd surfing was not going to hit you.
yeah, and there's even like 2 feet before the next line, so no heads or like people standing up would be in the way. It was really really good. Really,
Yeah.
it was amazing, and the price wasn't like too much, and the show was really loud, but again, like I was there feeling it. Like the first band was like, everyone put your phones away. Let's just be in this moment. If we see your phone, we're going to throw you out. So no one took their phone out for like most of the show. But since I was behind a little barricade, I was able to take some pictures of the show. But no, it was a great moment, and I was just like super into it. And the other 2 bands were great. And I went and spent way too much money at the merch table. But you know what? Melissa and I decided that this is our anniversary gift. Because our anniversary is on Sunday of 6 years.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yay.
Thank you.
Congrats.
She's great. She's great. So yeah, that was exactly what I needed when I know I needed it. And guys, you make me feel really nice to go in public. And dressed and looked really nice. Had all my beard trimmed up and everything. I was looking good. I was the guy that wore the shirt of the band to the concert. If you do that, it is frowned upon in the 90s. Like, do not wear the shirt of the band that you're going to go see. But whatever. It was whatever. It was my experience. And it was just fun. Like, I had so much fun.
That's awesome.
That's
So
what
my
accessibility is
big
supposed to
question.
be. That you can go and do fun things
Yeah.
and not have like inconveniences and just make your life, make it so much enjoyable. I'm so glad that venue did everything to make your night awesome.
It was
So that's
diarrhea.
why my big question, John, is are
Yeah.
you gonna do it again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We know right where to stay. We know right where to get the seats. And again, the show was diarrhea-inducingly loud. It was as
Did
if,
you
not
really
wear
expect
earplugs,
anything
John?
else?
like, you felt it to your core.
Oh my God.
Because the sound
Yeah,
guy,
next
sound
time
guy,
you need to take the earplugs.
no,
Yeah.
no.
You'll still feel it. You will still feel it.
I needed to do it because that's what I'm used to.
Did they have a sign language interpreter there?
Not that I could see,
Okay.
but the screens were like artsy and doing stuff. So it was never really like a crowd shot very often.
I don't know if that's something that they have to personally request and then
But
they show up or how that works.
They would have had their own traveling with them.
Well, you know what? The sign language interpreters at concerts are amazing to watch.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
so
are
I got to go to one when they had one and it was great. And even the band called out, did a shout out to the interpreter and how
yeah.
much they loved having her there to do the interpretation.
You
It's
can
really
look
cool.
at like YouTube videos
Mhm.
of
Rocking
interpreters at
out while they're
concerts. Oh yeah, they
It's
get
fun.
into it. They're amazing.
I'm so glad you had an amazing experience, John. And I hope
Yeah.
that gets everyone else more open to like, hey, maybe I can do this and it's not going to be, it's going to be a good experience.
Yeah, that really showed Melissa and I that, hey, we can do more stuff in Grand Rapids. Like the Frederick Meyer Garden is a gigantic like botanical place by Grand Rapids. It's nuts, Sherry, right?
I've been there. It's awesome. It's
Well,
awesome.
we can do things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, that really helped with confidence. Andrea.
How did you feel after the show? Like the next day or two?
I was totally fucking fine. For like
Yay!
I was really tired this week, but the concert was like 2.5 weeks ago. So I don't think it's related to that at all. But no, for some reason I was just for some reason. Well,
Your
those concerts,
adrenaline was still going like crazy.
like
Right. You were still so thrilled about the
Seeing your
show that it
favorite
pulled you
bands.
through.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and the way the show went was like first band plays 5 songs, second band 5 songs, third band 5 songs, intermission, repeat until the end. And at the intermission, there's a cartoon of a guy saying like, "Hey, hey, are you listening?" Stuff like that. And so during the second one, he was saying, "Hey," and I said, "What?" "Hey," again, I said it louder. By the fourth time, the entire fucking crowd was doing it. I started a stadium chant.
Cool.
It
The
was.
what way?
I'm sorry, Jim.
The what way? It's like what, and then everybody went what?
Yeah. It was really Stone Cold Steve Austin, like from wrestling. What? But it's great. So yeah, I had a good time. It was very building confidence, and I'm excited to do. I just edited myself. I'm excited to do shit like this again, like more in my life. And did I have no beard the last time I saw you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah, we
Still
talked
looks
about how
good.
you look younger now.
Yeah. My last quick little thing I want to show you guys, and of course, it's a thing in my phone from today that of course I won't be able to find because technology is just a bastard. Come on. Anyways, I'm going to show a picture of me 2 years ago to the day, and then today. So I'll dig that up. And I was just wondering, Sherry, were you able to get a hold of like a case manager type worker person?
No, I did not. I can't. I sort of, kind of have sort of a person like that, but not a true case manager.
I was just wondering, friend.
Thanks.
So I'm all good.
I was just waiting for that photo.
Oh,
It was on, yeah,
I damn it.
it's pretty amazing.
I'll get back to you. Oh,
So, JC, is this your first meeting with us tonight?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
that's me
I'm
2 years
glad.
ago.
Wow.
That's me 2 years and 140 pounds ago.
Show it
Oh
again,
my
John.
gosh, you look
This
so
is fucking
different.
bullshit. Oh, dude, I look way different.
But you still have the baby face.
No one knows how old I am.
No, I wouldn't even begin to guess.
38.
I know how old you are, John.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know how old you are, but
yeah.
now you look younger than me.
I turned 46 in 2 days.
Wow.
Oh my
I was gonna
God.
say 38. There you go.
And we're doing fun stuff for my birthday. We're gonna go to a nerd store, and then we're gonna go to like Meyer for me to buy some Legos for myself.
Well, you're a few weeks older than me, John.
Let's see if I can get that to go.
There
Hello.
you go.
Yeah.
You look like you could be my brother. The round face.
Yeah.
You look like you lost a lot of weight, huh?
Yeah.
You said 140 pounds, did you say?
Somewhere around there. I'm up and down. I want to up my
Wow.
dose
Gosh.
so I can get back down
Wow.
again. Because if I get down like 15 more pounds, I get a new wheelchair, which is nice.
Wow.
but I'm using my power chair more to go aside. Like I showed my OT how I can transfer. I just went around the yard and all stuff like that. So, yeah, yeah.
Do you think that's one of the reasons that you were able to stand for some of the songs at the concert?
Um,
I know
I'm
you've been
not
working
using,
really hard with PT and everything, but
yeah, just working hard at PT and adrenaline.
Mm.
Like this was the concert that I've always wanted to go to. You know,
Mhm.
like if you guys ever heard of the band Tool,
Yeah,
the
I've
lead
seen
singer
them.
has,
I've seen them in concert, yeah.
so he has side projects, and two of his side projects were playing with the lead band. So it's just a weird night. It's just a
That's what I
weird.
thought. That's what I thought when you were saying that the singer told everybody to put away their phones, because that's what the singer of Tool does all the time,
Yep, yep, yep.
all the time.
It was weird to see Tool in concert. I had no clue what to expect. This was a concert I was going to because of my husband, and that was the first time I've ever had the singer be toward the back of the stage without a spotlight. I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't like being in the spotlight.
No,
He
he's
was
He's
just
there
always
weird.
been like that.
front dead center, and he
He's
was
so
kind of
weird.
hanging in the back. I'm like, oh,
When I
Doing
saw
his
him,
doing a
he said
strange thing with his head.
yeah, he does the little swaying thing, yeah.
between two of their songs, when I saw him, he said, I only known this much English and from your American McDonald's sandwiches. And then he did not speak a word of English other than the songs for the rest of the damn show.
Oh my
He's
God.
so weird, and I love him.
He only spoke English in our show.
And he's gotten better. In the 90s, he was really weird.
Hmm.
When he had his hair all cut up, he had like a bald head. Really weird. But cool.
Yeah, I'm all good. Who's ever next?
Okay, cool. Juan Carlos or Jim, is there anything you want to share before we go to the next person else since you're all new?
Well, I just wanted to say how happy I am to have met you guys.
Yeah, glad
And
you
hearing
came.
Jim's story and then John's experience with his concert have given me a little light of my week. It hasn't been very happy for me in a couple of months, so I'm glad to have met you guys. You guys have a great attitude, and I'm drinking it up right here.
JC, honestly, this has been one of the best things that's happened in my life with MS. Like,
Thanks for sharing
you-
it. Sounds like it was really fun.
yeah, some people are like,
And
We're
how
very
do you know these people? Like, internet. And
and
we're
that treatment that you got, that's like VIP, man. You're
like,
lucky.
John, were you meaning that
very
this group has been helpful for you, or were you still talking about the concert?
oh, no, no. I was talking about this group.
Yeah,
This
I just
group
wanted to
means the world.
clarify.
Oh,
But I mean,
oops.
I would have taken all you guys. It was so loud.
Yeah.
we're very glad that you're here, and we hope you come back and join us again.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah,
I I don't have a lot of friends because as you can tell by my name and my accent, I'm not I'm not from Washington. I moved here from California, which is also not where I come from. And I had friends in California, but then I moved here for my family. I wanted to raise my daughters away from the California scene. It got too expensive and too hot for me. So I was um, wanting to live in a place that had snow, and I love it here. But I don't have any friends or family, so it's been hard to make friends, especially with our situation. It's harder for people to understand and to make
Yes.
space in their life. Um, so I've been searching for a place
Where
to
are
be
you in
all.
I had
Washington?
just
Spokane.
Oh, cool.
oh,
Okay. So
cool.
you're not that far from me then. Cool.
Oh, where are you?
I'm just up north in Kelowna, British Columbia, so above
Oh, British
Osoyoos and
Columbia. Yeah,
the
not
Okanagan
far.
Valley. Yeah.
Couple
Hey,
hundred.
JC, if you didn't know, we have a chat box in here. I just put my phone number in there. Text me anytime.
Cool. Is that the little thing on the left corner, right corner?
Yeah, it looks like
See this
two.
yet.
Why?
Looks like two boxes.
I
Chat.
don't see the message yet, though.
Oh, I see it.
He might have did private.
Yeah.
There's a private
Okay.
message addressed to him.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's in
I
the top
see it.
right corner
The
if you're
two
on your
little
I'm
mobile.
gonna write
thought
it down, John.
bubbles.
Doesn't it get hot in Spokane? Isn't it like high desert or dry?
No, actually, it's pretty comfy, but not now. Now it's 92 degrees. We're going through a heat wave.
Mm-hmm.
And where I live, I don't have an AC, so you can imagine.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
wow. Yeah, my
Yeah,
buddy
it's not
lives
fun.
in the other side. Why am I blanking out on the town just north of Portland on the other side of the river?
Seattle.
Vancouver. Is it Vancouver, Washington,
Oh,
or something?
no,
I'm
That's
blanking
far
out.
away. That's far,
Anyway,
far
it's
away.
fine.
he's
Yeah.
complained
So,
about it. It's been the 90s, so there.
Juan,
So I hear ya.
Juan Carlos, were you from originally? You know, I live in California, and you could probably tell from my accent that I'm not from
Yeah,
California. But
yeah.
were you in SoCal?
Yes, I lived in the Riverside County, actually Riverside. I lived
Oh,
there. I lived there for, let's see, from 99 till, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. So, yeah, 20
my
something
foster
years.
daughter lives there, but I forgot what the name of but I don't like it down there.
Yeah, it's fun when you have money and it's fun when you have friends. But when you don't have either, it becomes very lonely and hot and not very nice. I like it here a lot better. It's cooler, people are really nice, not as expensive. So I guess I'm in the right place. It's
We
just,
do meet twice a month. The second Tuesday of the month, which is tonight, and then the fourth Tuesday of the month, we actually meet more in the afternoon, which would be 1:30 Eastern time. So
yeah, I
subtract
I'll
that.
be looking. I'm gonna be looking forward to that. I really enjoyed my experience with you guys. I only talked to one other person that has MS, and I found them through the MS Society, and we talk like once a week. But he's the only other person that I know that has MS that I've talked to, other than you guys.
Well, it's nice to have a group because when you start talking about crazy symptoms and like crippling
Yeah.
fatigue and having problems with sight or balance, like you can come off like people don't have a hard time understanding it. In this group, they're like, oh yeah, yeah, we get that.
The
So
closest
Also,
thing to
JC,
this has been Reddit. They have a multiple sclerosis Reddit subreddit. And it's been very helpful because everybody's been so nice. Every time you post a question or whatever you're venting, people always are very positive. So it was a good experience and kind of motivated me to look further to meet other people because I've been very cagey about it. You talk to people that don't know and you have to explain and guilt trips and the lift yourself by your bootstraps mentality. Like I don't have energy to do with that. So it kind of alienates you when people don't understand.
It's a crappy
yeah,
way to make friends. But you know that when you get diagnosed with MS, you're with your people.
Yeah, that's how
You,
I see it. It's like family. It's like
yep.
you guys truly understand because your family doesn't understand most of the time. They think that you're either making stuff up or you're being manipulative or a whiner. So it's always nice to talk to people that understand. And with you guys, I don't have to explain how it feels. It's like when you guys talk, it's like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, I've been there. And we all have our experiences. It's nice to just kind of get the vibes, that people understand. You don't have to go like, well, when I was diagnosed this and 10 years later, like we all have our experiences, but we understand where we're coming from, and that's enough for me, just having that.
what were you say, John?
God is
No, this is for something when we have free time between people talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was just gonna say when I was trying to think of like what's one of the positive things about having multiple sclerosis, and the one of the things I came up with like there are so many people I would have never have met with or without MS if it wasn't for MS. There's so many people that came into my life I never would have met who are really amazing
Wow.
people. So
And
yeah.
orange is a great
I
color to
lost
wear.
I lost a bunch of people too, but I found better people.
Amen.
Same, same. Jim, I'm going to put the link in the chat finally because I had, of course, changed 14,000 passwords in order to even get to my email so I could copy and paste it over because I'm on an Apple, but I'm not on an Apple on this computer with this meeting. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm posting it. Can you just double check that that's the right story that we're talking about? Thanks. Sorry to interrupt everybody.
Is it just me, but I'm hearing squeaky feedback? Is it because people's mics are open?
Yeah, there's some of them that will get feedback.
I don't hear it.
Gone now.
Oh, I've been
Wherever
Or
we,
hearing
it's when,
we
Karen.
it's when people talk. It's when, no, you don't hear it when everybody's.
Yeah, I can hear it, Karen. So you're not losing your mind. Not quite yet today.
it's not the ears and the tinnitus what acting up. It's just there.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we go on to the next person? Or
Me?
Jim, you wanted to say something?
Yes, did Carmen just mention something that she'd put in the chat box for me or
Yeah.
not? Yes?
Yeah. Are you able to get in there?
I
I
can't
don't
see
see
the
it.
chat box. I'm really technically
Okay,
behind the
so on the
scenes.
top row, you'll see the little three
Carmen,
dots.
Carmen,
Three
Yeah.
dots.
you said that link to me privately.
Oh, darn it.
I
Okay.
was gonna,
So,
I don't see it.
okay. I have to set my settings to all. See, I'm technologically challenged obviously today.
Yeah,
Well,
so in the chat, you can decide if you
Yeah.
want to send it
Yeah.
to everybody or someone privately.
I
Just
forgot I was giving
FYI.
John crap
I
in the
have no
private
problem
chat
in
there.
sharing it. I hit the three
And the
things.
chat is the only place where you could see who's actually here. Like, I mean, Christy, I've known her, so I know that voice. But otherwise, it'd be like, what? Who's here?
Yeah,
It's
this
there
looks
now,
like
Jim.
it looks like the right story. You did awesome job, Carmen, on doing that.
All I can see, Carmen, is toggle full screen, switch to desktop, report an issue, keyboard
Okay,
shortcut for
don't
help.
click on the three buttons. You're just going to keep going. Then you see the settings button, and then the next one over, if you hover over it, it looks like two boxes with the arrows and like a dialog box. That's chat.
Settings. Okay, I see that.
Going to the left, the next one is the little two boxes.
I see audio, camera, recession,
Uh,
speakers.
no, you just want to go to the chat one, which is the next one over to your left. You're in the right neighborhood. You're very close.
Audio is the furthest to the left. I'm sorry, I'm taking up people's time.
It's okay. Do you see the little person and then there's a number? It should sit like there's a person and then it says 12.
Oh, yes.
Okay, right to the right of that is the text one. You click on the one to the right of that.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Okay, so that should open up a text box
Okay.
there.
Yep.
And you can just scroll down to the bottom and
Oh, at the very
see
bottom, Alex Jet.
Alexa. Yeah, Alexa sent a message there, but right above that is the link that I sent about your story.
Oh, so you want me to click on that?
I just wanted you to confirm that that's the correct one.
I went to it and it's him. I saw his face.
Yes.
She did a great job sleuthing there. Good job, Carmen.
Yeah, thanks,
I
John.
know.
That's the correct one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that information and your story. It's very
I hope
encouraging.
it's helpful. I also wanted to mention to Jim C., which those are great initials, by the way.
JC.
But I wanted to encourage you. As I said, it's been 38 years since I've really felt the active MS. That may be coming back now with my tiredness, although I think most of it's due to the Orgovyx and the very intense radiation treatments. Instead of 40, they compressed the same amount of energy in 5 treatments, and I was sleeping 14 to 16 hours a day. So all the other people that are going through it, they're suffering now, and they're saying, we don't know how you took it. I don't know how I took it either. But my overall message to you and all those that are going through MS, and I know it's difficult, and we all have had our very difficult moments, is try to stay positive. Try to avoid people that are negative in your life. If you can reach out to others, even if you have disabilities of movement and so forth, the more you volunteer for doing things, it will open up your contacts with other people, and that helps positive. Positive people around you creates further positivity. And to me, I mean, since I've been doing this for 40 years, but I've become a chaplain for the Marines, a chaplain for Welcome Home Vets in New Jersey, chaplain for the American Legion, chaplain for the 112th. Now, 2 of those, because of my tiredness, I've resigned from the Marines and signed from the American Legion because they just can't handle everything. And I also run a foundation around the world, Mary Queen of All Nations, and we've raised about $500,000 for the poor. So I try to keep active and positive. So I think if you go through with a positive ethic, good things will happen to you. I can't promise that, but all I can say is it has worked like a charm for me. And I will offer something to each of you. I do this to every person I meet every week. And this is not a religious thing, but I serve communion every day. And people I meet are automatically in my prayers unless they want to opt out. So anyone that wants to opt out can do that, but you're automatically in my prayers to the extent that hopefully that will help you.
Thank you, Jim. And coming from you, knowing everything that you're going through, it fills me with hope and a lot of positivity. So I appreciate it more than you know.
Okay. Andrea, you want to opt out?
No, no, I don't want to opt out.
Oh, okay.
I want to say thank you, but I don't know if it's because I don't remember, but did Sherry ever get an introduction?
We did. We got everybody.
You did?
Took a while. Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Long time stranger. Yeah.
Right.
Well, talked about the writing
I
group.
do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
MS, baby, MS.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
If you miss 1 or 2 meetings, I can't make the day one, so I always have to make the night one. And if you miss one and then you miss it the next time, it's like you haven't been there in a long time,
True.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say something to Jim. I'm a member of the DAR, and my patriot was born in Morristown, New Jersey.
Well, that's funny because my wife, I believe, was DAR. She talked about it. I was going to have them research, but my son, who was also an Eagle Scout, did the fence for the headquarters for the DAR here in Morristown.
Oh, cool.
I've spent time in Morristown, if you guys can believe it. Carmen from Canada.
Oh, where in Morristown?
Don't ask me any specifics. It was the early 90s and I was a nanny, so I was gallivanting all over the place. But Morristown was one of the places that I went in and out of to go shopping and go to the movies. And
You'll probably remember the Green.
mm,
Morristown, that's the center of the town.
it was more of a like get out and in the evening because I was taking care of kids and I didn't really have friends. So it was usually go to a movie or go to the mall, to be honest with you, at that point.
It's the center in the town. I just
Okay.
did the Veterans Memorial Day. I do the veterans and the Memorial Day functions each year for Morristown and Morris Township. So I'm the ceremony officer at the last 17 events.
Awesome.
John, is there anything you wanted to say before we go to Christy next?
Yeah, just give me just a second. So those of you that have been with me for a couple of years and know my story, I hope everyone's sitting down, right? Talked to my dad yesterday, and he was talking about maybe building a ramp into their home. I'm sorry, into their backyard, but not into their home. I said, I will come over if she's not there, if she's in another country. So if you didn't know, I broke up with my mom.
Oh.
Oh,
As I have no problem saying, my mom makes Donald Trump look like really well balanced. My mom's a
Oh
really bad
wow.
narcissist, so anyways, I
Oh
broke up
wow.
with her, and like I keep in contact with my dad because my dad's awesome. But yeah, I almost want to say like way too little, way too late, because I can get to the path around their koi pond. And again, those of you that are new with us, my parents breed and sell koi for like
didn't
tens
know
of
that.
thousands of dollars.
Wow.
I don't get
Wow.
it. Anyways, yeah. So having dad say that, I'm still haven't like processed it all the way. Um, like I was in therapy yesterday, and my guy was like, "Wait, how did you feel about that?" I said, I don't know yet. I mean, eh,
Well, maybe maybe it's sort of a pathway into the house. A ramp to the backyard could be a ramp to inside of the house kind of deal.
no, because their deck does not come up to their ledge.
Well, but you
It,
know what
it,
I mean, you know.
yeah, yeah. You know, JC is honestly, it's way too late. For that to even consider a thing. But like, Alexa's like, I'm shocked, but like, yeah, it was weird.
I know what you mean. I've been sort of disowned by my siblings also, not because of Trump. I screw him,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but for other experiences in life. Um, so I know how it feels to be, in my case, be divorced from my family. Because my parents passed away, but my two brothers and one of my sisters, for whatever reason, they ghosted me more than 9 years ago, and I still don't have an explanation why. So,
I have a brother that I haven't seen since like let's call it like late '90s. As
wow.
because my mom drove him away because she was from my dad's first marriage. So family shitty, right? So shitty. But I'm sorry that your brothers have like really gone away. The day that I chewed my mom out, I sent my sister a text like, "I need to be with you still because of your boys." So I'm lucky in that regard. But man, I'm sorry, JC.
It is what it is, but it's been so long. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm more I feel worse for my nephews and for my daughter because they're the ones that have missed out. You know, that's all that I'm really worried about. Them, they're grown ups, they made their decisions, like good riddance in a way. But I've lost a lot of time with my nephews, and it's time that I will never get back. And I don't even know what they think about me or if they think about me at all. But I do think about them, and I pray for them and stuff. But life is the way it is. I don't. I use my energy for other things. Getting out of bed most of the time. Staying positive and moving forward. I'm not the kind of person that likes to wallow in self-pity, although others might like to think otherwise. I'm fine.
Steve, you want to take us away on your what you wanted to talk about?
Me?
No, Christy.
Oh,
I
I'm
want to make
sorry.
sure No, you're fine. You're fine, Juan
My
Carlos.
headsets
To
are
make sure we
not
get to
working very good.
everybody, because we still we have Christy and Jennifer and stuff. So I want to make sure we get to everyone before it gets too late.
Yeah.
Christy, are you trying to talk? We can't hear you, friend. I saw you tried to unmute. If you leave and come back in, sometimes that fixes the audio. Kim, we can just go to the next person and Christy can leave and come back in.
Okay, let's go to Big Red next then. You are on mute, girl.
I said I can't multitask. I'm just like blah, 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 blah.
Okay, take your time. It's late.
It's
It's tougher.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Life has just been challenging. I'm on survivor mode right now. My husband, he relapsed on alcohol. He's in recovery. He's been gone about 2 months. He's back. I'm really grateful he's back, and I'm glad he got the help he needed. So just kind of navigating and not being too stressed out and going into a flare-up. So on top of that, I fired my neurologist and fired actually my whole team over there because it's not really a team. They just don't, I went to I'm on search for a neurologist. I did get a new doctor that does sliding scale because I can't afford it. Having MS is pretty expensive. So there's that. My son moved in because he was going through some mental health issues. But he got a job and he loves it. He got a manager position at it's called Smoothie King. They make all kinds of smoothies. So he's loving it. He's doing good. But I'm just in survival mode, really. Just trying to keep it together. And, losing funding and stuff for a lot of things, for my career, working in domestic violence and sexual assault, that, it's just really scary. So I hopped on here because I miss you guys, and my granddaughter is doing fabulous. She'll be a year in August. Oh God. I don't get to see her much because she's in Indy and driving is exhausting and expensive. So I'm taking one day at a time, really. It's one day at a time. And that's okay. I did start therapy and I'm starting EMDR, which I'm really excited. Like I said, I can
EMDR.
Yes, and I'm really excited because again, it's a sliding scale, and I was going to cancel my appointment because I didn't have $30, and they said, "Don't worry, come in, just pay what you can."
Wow.
Good.
Yeah,
awesome.
Because I tried to do that with Reed Hospital, the hospital I go to for neurology, and all the surgeries that I've had, and the MRIs. Insurance pays only so much. So they wouldn't work with me. They don't I said, I can't afford $150 a month, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, I work with Neighborhood Health, which is an amazing place. They have mental health there, and of course, medical, dental, all in one place. And like I said, they have a sliding scale, and it's only cost me like $30 for therapy. So but I could pay what I can. So that's really good. So I'm really glad to start therapy. And he doesn't throw medicine at me. He does. He taught me Quaison. I think that's how I say it. It's movement meditation, and it's deep
Qigong?
breathing and stuff like that.
Qigong?
What is it?
Qigong?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my God. So yes, I have been. So I'm doing good. Better. So
I'm so glad
I'm
you
glad
came tonight, Big Red.
I
So
am
glad to see
too.
you. Sounds like you've been to hell and back, but you're figuring how to get through it.
They don't
Wow.
give people with MS, just anybody with MS.
That's right. We're special.
We're very special.
Do I remember correctly, Big Red, that there was a huge issue where a bunch like insurances weren't contracting with like the main healthcare and you guys had to go find new healthcare? Am I remembering this correctly? A
Yes,
year or two
Anthem.
ago? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Where
It was
you
Anthem. And I have Anthem, and I think I'm just being bullied. That's my guess. They just wouldn't take anything less. I said I can't do it. So half of that money went to finance system, and now I'm just like, I try to stay away from it, but
At
there's
least you
just
don't
no
have
one.
United. At least you don't have United. They say no to everything.
So
I'm
Sounds
I'm
sounds like
I'm looking forward to hear how the I always say it wrong, EDMR. I always say it all. I screw up the letter sequence.
just think eye movement and then EMDR.
Okay,
That's how I
EMDR.
remember it. Yeah.
I look forward to hearing how that works for you because I've heard, like I said, I've heard phenomenal things from other people. So I hope
Well,
that's
my friend who I've worked with in the mental health field, she just got her certification for EMDR, and I was like, "You can practice on me. It's unethical, but you can do it." Try and get a freebie.
Sign an NDA.
did she say yes then, or if she say no, what'd she say?
You know what? She probably would, but me being ethical, I just I'll let her. I'm really glad she is doing it though, because it does good things.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
So.
And your
That's all I
funding
got.
is being impacted at work, Jennifer? I've been worried. I'm so worried about you guys. Like, I'm so worried about all of you. And JC, I was even thinking, like, oh my God, you must be so glad you're not in California right now. But like the whole country, I'm
Move
sending
over,
prayers
Carmen
for
from
all of you.
Canada, because Jennifer's
Come
coming.
on up. Come on up.
You might be inundated with a bunch of your MS friends at some point.
Yep. I've got a basement with a two bedrooms and a bathroom. It's level entry. You can come on in.
I got you. I cook.
Good. Okay, you're hired. You're in.
I'll bring my Italian, let's go. Yeah, funding is really, and we've got safety plans for some of our Spanish speaking population. So, yeah.
Crazy times.
Yep.
The news today, what's happening in California, it's scary. It's really scary. What this administration is doing is unconscionable, and it stresses the hell out of me. Being somebody that depends on the government and have no choice, because it's not like I can just say, "Hey, I'm just gonna go get a job." Not an option for me anymore. I'm glad that you still have a job and that things are looking good for you. And today's all we got, one day at a time, right now. So keep going on it. You're doing right. You're doing right by yourself.
Thank you.
I think that's a really great point, Juan Carlos, that staying in the present moment is so important. It's really easy to try to not be in the present moment. It can be tough, and how
Yeah,
important it is to stay in.
it's a concept that I learned through DBT training. Do you know what that is? Dialectical behavioral therapy.
Oh.
They have a concept called radical acceptance,
Radical acceptance. Yep.
which is basically it is what it is. You know, you have to accept things the way they are, not the way you want them to. And it's hard, but at the same time, it's freeing because
It is
it
hard.
opens you to options rather than thinking I'm setting away and there's no way around it and nothing's ever gonna get better. So, well, take it one step at a time, and whatever's in front of you is the only thing you can really do. And as long as you're moving forward, it reminds me of this Reddit post that this person was talking about how long it took them to do a load of clothes. You know, it was really difficult to do the whole wash. And the only thing that I could tell them is like, hey, at least you're moving forward. You're doing something. Your clothes will get washed eventually. Don't worry about it. Don't freak about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just don't worry. They're just clothes. You're gonna wash them eventually. Just like anything, you know, you deal with what you can right now, and everything else, if you believe in that, you put it in His hands, and that's all you can do. Because we are only one person, and we can only do so much. I'm glad that I found you guys that understand and listen, because it's important when you're down to have somebody to pick you up. And it's good to remember that there are people out there that are willing to do that, especially when you think that no one will.
Jennifer, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we go to Christy to see if her audio works?
No, I just appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Night, John.
Hi, John.
I love every one of you, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
See you 2
Who
weeks.
knows what I'll look like then?
You'll look a year older.
Hopefully skinnier.
Yeah, JC, something I did at like last meeting, I changed my hat every time I turned my camera back on. So I think I made it like 4 or 5 changes. It
I
was like,
was at that meeting. I remember that.
so stuff like that will happen here. So, all right, night everyone.
Bye, John.
Night, John.
We have audio from Christy. Take it
Woohoo!
away.
She hasn't
Huh.
melted yet. Thank God.
I'm pretty darn close to melting. Let me just say, it's
Uh-huh.
hot here, and it's carrying on through the evening too, where it's in the high 90s. And so just even to go outside, it's miserable. It's like you can't even like. I mean, I have to because the AC gets too cold in here, so I have to go outside to warm up, and then I end up getting on the verge of having a heat stroke. I think I've overheated at least um close to a dozen times. Just having to there's a lot of in and out for me because I
That
go out,
is it.
get too hot, I start dripping sweat. I have to come inside and then I start freezing. Then I have to go outside. It's miserable. I swear I moved to the as I said, coming to you live from the depths of hell called Phoenix, Arizona. So, and like I was saying, I put it in the chat that, for someone who's heat intolerant, Phoenix is not the place to move to. Um, I don't know. I just think I got spoiled with my weather in Colorado. Yeah, it got hot, but in the evenings it cooled down and it was so nice. Um, but yeah.
So is there
So
anything good about your move there?
no,
Oh.
I'm still trying to find the good about it. I mean, even my husband hates it here. So we've talked about moving back to Colorado. We don't know when that's going to do, but when that's going to happen. But we have kind of a tentative plan because I still have my open wound, which is getting a little bit smaller, a little bit at a time. Um, I have home health coming in twice a week to do dressing changes. So I think that's helping. So from not having it in Colorado to now having it in Arizona, um, I think that that is what has changed. And my home health nurse, she's pretty darn amazing. Um, I'm very thankful that my wound care doctor, his office actually sent the referral to that home health service, and she was actually at the point of not taking any more patients because she was just so overloaded because she not only does in-home health wound, like wound is her specialty, she's also a hospice nurse. So like her hospice has increased significantly lately. Um, so she was kind of pulling back on taking more wound care. Excuse me, I have hold on. But so she's just kind of pulling back. She's pulling back on that. She hasn't accepted any new patients since me, which has been kind of nice. Um, I did go through the craziness of my husband getting there's company getting bought out. He got new insurance. Um, and Mayo Clinic, specifically Dr. Carter, wasn't on the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. Um, so I had to quit seeing him. So it was like I had to start from the bottom to find my medical team again. Um, so I did end up finding a neurologist. Um, I did find out that Mayo Clinic Arizona is in their network, but they go based off of a provider's name, not the actual facility. That's how Blue Cross Blue Shield works. So I could search like specific providers within Mayo Clinic to see if they're actually in network. And that's how I found my urologist. And let me tell you, Jennifer, got my first Botox treatment.
Life changing.
Yes. And I joked around with my friend. She's like, "You got Botox in your bladder?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay." I go, "Yeah. So by the time I'm done getting Botox in my bladder, which will probably be forever," I was like, um, my bladder is gonna look younger than me." And she's just started laughing. I was like, "Well, at least I'll have a young looking bladder."
Young brother.
Um, but yeah, so thank you, Jennifer, for kind of talking to me about that. Because I was very um like not anxious, but skeptical, I guess is the correct word that I want to use, on whether or not it would work.
I'm tickled to hear that it is working, and I go for my Botox in my bladder in July,
Mhm.
so I'm excited. And at the 6 month, I'm like, okay, ready. So that's good. I'm glad it's working for you, Christy.
I will say the very first day that I got it, so I got it like I want to say like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That night, I was not afraid to drink anything.
Yay!
Wow.
I was like, I haven't enjoyed this much water, this much iced tea, and I don't know how long.
Yay!
And because, my bladder muscles were so weak that I'd literally drink something and it would just come right through me. So, but, I'm still having to go back because they only started with the minimum dose. So he's wanting me to come back in a couple of months. a month had passed and I already had follow-ups. He's like, I don't know why you're here. I told them 3 months. So I would just met up with him, and um, he wants to see me probably like in August. Yeah, in August, and to see how my bladder's holding up. He's like, this is the minimum. We can increase it if you feel like it's starting to wear off and not work as well. So
How many units is that, did they say, Christy?
I might, it was either
100?
200, I think. Yeah, I think it was 200
Okay.
is the minimum. Um, yeah, so that was kind of a a Mayo blessing that he was within network.
Thank God.
So
Yay.
yeah, because I didn't want to go through all of that again, because urology, I'm sorry, is it's a great specialty, but if you don't get the right urologist, you're going to be chasing your tail forever. And that's what I was doing for the past 3 years. Different medications, different, well, let's try this. Let's take you off that medication. Let's try. I even did pelvic floor physical therapy. That didn't seem to help. So when I was first initially going to Mayo, I let them know about my whole um, bladder issues and everything that I've gone through. And that's when Dr. Carter sent me over to Dr. I always mess up his name. Kahipi, I think it's Cajipe. I think it's Kippy or Kihipe. Um, well, anyway, and that's when he said, "Well, you've told,
Giuseppe?
huh?
Giuseppe?
No, it's not. Um, it's a soft J, and I always mess it up when I say. I mean, he corrects me every single time, and I tell myself remember it. But you know what? Our memory,
Mm.
it's not good. So, um, so yeah, so I'm thankful that I didn't have to go through all that. And he just said, with everything that I've told them, that with all the medications that I've tried and like even the pelvic floor physical therapy, nothing's helped. He said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into doing Botox and see how that does. And I said to him, I said, well, what happens if Botox doesn't work? I feel like Botox is my last resort. And he says, well, I hate to say it, if that doesn't work, then you're going to a full-time Foley catheter. And I'm like, oh, please no. So thankfully this has worked for now. So, um, but yeah, I did find a new neurologist. She is with another organization here in Arizona with the Abrazo group. And she is a highly regarded neurologist. I have met with her. Steve came with me to meet with her for our first visit, and we both agreed that she is probably a really good fit for me. Um,
Good.
so, but yeah, she was very also straightforward. Um, uh, before I even went into the meeting through like emails and stuff like that, just basically saying that the reason why she wants to meet up is to make sure that I feel comfortable and that um, we feel that we're a good fit for each other, for the team. But she works where her office is by a neurological center. So she has all those tools there. Um, and then I've also been, um, she found me somebody who can do my refills on my baclofen pump. I met with her. Um, there's just been a lot of consultations. That's another thing that I hate about finding new doctors is consultations. Um, and she's pretty amazing too. And her and I have talked, and she's with Banner Physical Therapy. They're like a rehab and physical therapy office, but they also do like pump refills and stuff like that. I was talking to her about physical therapy, and I asked her if they have stuff like a light gate to help me get up and walk, or tracks that go along the ceiling and parallel bars and stuff like that, like I was doing in Colorado, so I can resume my physical therapy. She's like, sweetie, you don't have to worry about that. She's like, that's elementary. She's like, we have all the robotic stuff you could possibly imagine here.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
That's great.
yeah. So I mean, some things are going good as far as me putting the legwork in to find doctors, or finding doctors that can help me put the legwork in to find the correct doctors.
Okay.
But you know, since I've moved down here to Arizona, I would say that my depression has heightened. I feel more lonely than I've ever felt before in my life. Um, and it's really hard on me, and it's really taken its toll on me. Not only am I like I don't know anybody here except my mom, stepdad. We do know a couple that live not too far from us that we've known for years, but she's also sick, but not with MS, it's other stuff. So getting the time to go spend time with them has been proving to be kind of difficult, which makes me feel even more lonely. I don't have any like all my friends are in Colorado. So, but on a good note, Steve and I just got back from a really good vacation. So my niece, my sister's daughter, graduated from high school. So I flew back to Colorado, went to her ceremony. Steve came in. So I flew back on Wednesday. Her ceremony is Thursday. Steve came in Friday night, but somehow the flight, the gate got all mixed up. Steve missed his flight, so he didn't get in until Saturday afternoon. And the graduation party was Saturday afternoon. Went to that. Then it was me, Steve, my best friend, who I consider like my sister, her 4 kids, who are like my nieces and nephew, our nieces and nephew. We went on a Disney cruise. So we went straight from Denver to Orlando, Florida, and then stayed the night in the hotel. That morning, we went to the port in Cape Canaveral, and we went on it's a 4-day or a 5-day, 4-night cruise. We went to, is it Nassau or Nassau? Nassau.
NASA.
Went to Nassau, and then we went to Disney's private island.
Wow.
So that
Sounds
was a nice,
amazing.
That
yeah.
sounds awesome.
Sounds
And
like
then we came back. We flew back from Orlando to Denver, and then we stayed an extra day, a couple days in Denver, which made me miss Colorado even more and made me want to move back even more. Because my other best friend, she just graduated with her bachelor's, and she was having a graduation party. So we stayed till Sunday in Colorado, Denver, to go to her party, and came back. And now we're both sick. Like, we've been sick. We got back on June 1st. And then he started feeling sick even before the cruise. And we got back and we both really got sick. So, yeah, It's just,
Always a price we have to pay, hey?
yeah, very
Always.
true. So it was, um, it was a fun like 12 days, but still didn't, I guess you could say, didn't feed my soul. It actually made my soul miss it more. And, and I want to move back at some point. I do because it's just way too hot out here. I mean, it's here.
Christy,
It's seven
remind me what brought you out there again?
because I was coming out with the expectation of having my entire medical team at Mayo Clinic. But we were with United Healthcare. And I know JC's like, don't go with United. I think they were the best medical insurance I've ever had. And they're like every provider takes United. So, but since his company was sold, and also he was afraid that he was going to lose his job. So that was another thing. And my mom, offered to help like take me to appointments so that he didn't have to miss so much work for me to
Right.
do all my appointments. So
Yeah, so a few different important reasons, but
right.
I
So
think what I meant by the comment of United is like there's United and then there's United. Like it depends on what plan you have.
right.
There are plans in United that are amazing, and then there are plans in United where it's like good luck.
Yeah,
So
and
there's not a lot in the middle. That's what I meant. Like if you go
I
in
mean,
United and you're low income or
mhm,
you're living on this disability or something, it's
right.
difficult to survive with United.
Yeah, and it's the good thing is that yeah, they did deny some stuff that really frustrated me. Um, but I just had to kind of roll with the punches on it.
Mm,
Still got pissed and had to roll with the
mm,
punches and figure out a different way.
mm.
Um, but yeah, like I said, just moving down to Arizona, knowing that all providers within Mayo Clinic were going to be on Mayo, or we're going to be covered that were at Mayo Clinic, and then finding out that his insurance was changing to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, that was another thing. Um, and that's another thing that's been difficult is finding providers because, like I said, they don't do it by the location; they do it by a provider's name.
It's a PPO, what you got?
What's that?
It's at a PPO,
Yes.
preferred provider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing about it. You have freedom, but at the same time, it's everywhere. So there's not centralized. So you have to go one doctor here, one doctor there, and sometimes they might not
Right.
communicate very well. So
Yeah.
yeah, good and
And
bad.
that's kind of what I was excited about with, being able to have Mayo as my team. When I first initially met with them back in, I think it was December, because we moved here the week of Thanksgiving last year, and I think I had my appointment like in December, and meeting with his nurses and everything, and meet. It was like they call it an MS clinic, and you meet the other departments, and knowing that they meet once a week and specifically discuss all their cases kind of gave me some reassurance that I was making the good decision about doing everything through Mayo. And I know Kim knows like the benefits of Mayo because she's in the Rochester location. That's where she does her Mayo clinic is at the Rochester, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's slowly coming along, but it doesn't mean I like the place better, but it makes me like the place better. So, and
Moving is never fun, especially when you leave so much behind.
yeah, and Jennifer Digman left, right? She's still here. Oh, because she can, hold on, she can completely sympathize with me. I am so sick of sitting and being stuck in a wheelchair. I am sick of it. I just want to stand and walk and get to my destination without hitting something or something being in the way. I want to be able to step over something and not be something that hinders me from getting to a point from point A to point B, or
Here,
being
here.
able to fit through a doorway.
I wonder if any
So
of those
Hey,
robotic
Christy.
stuff from PT will be helpful to help me move that in a direction.
yeah, I really hope so.
Hey, Christy, I want to back up to your move and the weather. I can see being a really big issue, but I was a military brat, so I grew up moving every 2 to 3 years,
Right,
and I can I can tell you it would take like 1 year, one solid year, give or take, but one solid year to get used to a new place. And that was when I was young and healthy.
right.
And so nowadays, I'm gonna say it probably takes longer than that, possibly double that. But once you really live there for a while, you can't help but to become part of the community. And when that finally happens, you'll feel better. But the best thing to do is to get involved with things. Is there a MS support group that you can get out and go to?
Not that I'm
Anything like
aware of.
that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well,
I mean, that's
contact the National MS Society, and there wasn't one here either, but I started one.
um what I was actually gonna do is um reach out to Rick because he's in Arizona, and also he's not in the same area, but uh
No, but that's a very good thought. Yeah.
yeah, and also I know someone who is kind of in this area that I believe, um Michael, and I'm blinking on his last name.
Oh, Pettypool? I think he's
Yeah,
down in
Patty Pool.
Columbia.
Yeah, Petty Pool's no longer in Arizona.
Oh, goodness gracious. But
You
he might
you
know
will
stuff.
meet new people. You will meet new people, and absolutely, Rick might know somebody in your area, so absolutely reach out to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just
But
gonna email him
you
and
know,
see.
it's just all I'm saying is don't give up hope that you will eventually. I mean, right now I can't say right now sucks. I mean, but if you can muster your way through it, you can learn to make it a better place. It may never be as good as home, and you may want to go home, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But just know that. That's all.
Oh, I know.
All I wanted to
And
say.
the hard thing also is that being in Arizona requires me to do a lot of traveling. And as you know, as we've discussed, traveling takes it out of you. Like in February, I lost my grandpa, and I had to go back to Colorado just to say my goodbyes to him. He was still he was still with us, and there was, when it comes to people passing and stuff like that, people's feelings get hurt. And unfortunately, that has kind of tarnished me and my older sister's relationship. I haven't really talked to her since February. So that's been hard too. So it's like I had to move out of state because Steve thought he was losing his job. We were moving somewhere that we could live and afford. We sold our house. It's just been a lot of loss for me. And it's just like I feel like it's not getting better and it's just getting worse, even though I try to look at the brighter side of things.
That's how I felt over the last 2 weeks before I just, I didn't feel like I was ever going to come out of it. I really didn't
Mhm.
until that one moment. I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit bored. And that was like my hope to just grab onto that boredom and say, okay, I can use this to lift myself out. In the meantime is rough. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
it's just
you will come out of it. You have to have that little bit of hope.
I do, but it's been really hard. That's all I'm saying.
You might meet
Agreed.
friends in the
Yes,
strangest places.
right.
And that's the thing, we don't go anywhere.
That
We
makes it
really
hard.
don't.
Yeah.
And the community my mom lives in, I just don't connect with anybody because she's in a 55 and older retirement community. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be 46 this year in December. I'm not like a kid, but still I just don't feel like there's any type of connection with anybody that I have met.
Yet.
Yeah, I hang out with a lot of people that are from an older generation than me, and I
I was
just
gonna say, don't
A lot
give
of
up
people,
on those old
yeah.
ladies because they
And
oh
can be
God,
I learned
awesome.
so much from them. They're absolutely amazing. But yeah, it was hard for me for a while because everyone our age is working and raising kids. They are
I
busy.
Yeah.
They're not available during the day when I have energy. So yeah,
right.
I hang out with, older generation. I hang out with people older than my parents and I have a great time. We have so much fun.
Well,
And
I'm not saying that I won't, but
no, no. But you
everybody
have to
here
have
is
like this. You have to have like I don't know what's the best. Sometimes you just have to open, like just be really open. Like this is just really weird. Like you just have to get used to it. And I mean, you're used to already hanging out, with, you know, all ages in this group and stuff, and it's fun.
yeah.
But yeah, just keep an open mind. Your best friend may be someone that's closer to your parents' age, and that's okay.
No,
And
and
But
I'm open to that.
being stuck in a wheelchair, it's really easy to say that when you can walk.
Yeah.
Being stuck in a wheelchair, it's really sucks. I'm in the wheelchair. I'm not as stuck in the wheelchair, but and I'm not 46 years old, but it's awful being in a wheelchair.
Yep.
It's great that you can be in a chair, but it's not it's you don't it just doesn't feel fun. Oh, I'm going to go out and do things in my wheelchair.
Well, and and it I'm sorry, because I have a portable electric wheelchair and I have the manual wheelchair. Um, but it's still exhausting with the heat.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't go out during the day, and like I said, at night it's still pretty warm outside. So, I can't even get out at night. Um, and by that time, I'm sorry, the older generations are ready to go to bed. So it makes it kind of there's a catch 22 every time I turn a corner. And like I
Yeah.
said, we don't go anywhere.
Maybe you need to also look at, online, different time zones. I mean, there's
Right. But like I
Um,
said, we don't change or reset our clocks when we fall back or spring forward.
Mhm,
We change time zones. So that's another thing wrapping my brain around
mhm.
is realizing right now I'm Pacific time. And then come November, I'm going to be on Mountain time. So on my calendar, and this is why I've missed so many first Tuesday meetings, is because I think it's still in my brain. It's at 6:30, and then I usually it's like, oh, I have support group today, and it's 7 o'clock. Well, it's already 10 o'clock. Your guys is Central time or Eastern time. So I'm like, dang it, I missed yet another meeting. So let me see here.
I just wanted to say something. I don't know if it's gonna be, any, uh, any type of a balm for whatever you're going through right now, but it sounds a lot like mo mourning.
Oh
What you're
yeah,
saying,
grieving.
it sounds like you're going through like more like a process of mourning, like grieving,
Yeah.
changes in your life, things you've lost, things things that you wish were different. Um, and that takes time. It you have to give yourself the space to feel, but
Hmm.
also allow yourself the time to heal, which is, I think, what Andrea and Kim are trying to tell you. Like,
Oh yeah.
be open to the sunshine coming through the 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 darkness that you're probably feeling some days. I can tell you by experience, besides MS, I have also a bipolar disease disorder. So I can go into really high highs and then really deep lows. So when I'm in my lows, the depressions are really strong. So
Hmm.
they kind of compound each other. So you have to learn to give yourself the grace to survive the time. I tell my girls, you know what? In your good times, your job is to remember, because in the to absorb and make memories, because in the low times, in your sad times, that's gonna be your sustenance. That's going to
Right.
feed you and push you through. Like, this is only temporary. Things will get better, and I know that because I've been in good times and better times. So they'll come around. Everything in life is like a circle. So
No, I
you're
get
gonna
it.
have ups and
It's
you're gonna have downs, and right now everything feels like shit. Nothing that you hear it sounds good enough. Every situation that you encounter is like sucks,
hmm
but believe me, things will get better and they'll get better before you know it. As long as you keep
well,
that window open just a little.
the hard part is that um I I completely haven't completed my grieving for not being able to walk anymore and
Yeah,
being stuck in a wheelchair 100% dependent. And then this change, it just it's all like piling on
yeah,
top of one another. It's not
yeah,
just feels like it's not getting better.
yeah,
And so it's like, okay, I'm still in the process trying to accept the fact that I won't be independently walking ever
yeah,
again in my life.
yeah,
Everybody thinks it's because of the wound that I can't walk. No, it's because of this horrible disease um,
yeah,
that I can't walk.
yeah,
And I've always tried to keep positive about because I knew um, the potentials of what MS could do um, to destroy your life. But I
Yeah.
always kept positive, and I think that's why, I never really quickly turned a curve, but, on the way things, how my, like, I was able to keep myself in the relapse remitting. And then it was when, just out of nowhere, um, that I did a complete 180 and was diagnosed with secondary progressive, and I could no longer walk. So, um,
You've been cheated, Christy.
oh
You
yeah,
have
I have.
every right to feel you've been cheated. You've been cheated of having so-called, I mean, I remember my 40s, they were really great times.
Hmm.
Just you've been cheated. And it's kind of, I'm not from a culture that goes, oh, just look at the bright side. And I do
Right.
have a lot of blessings that have come into my life, but you've been cheated, it's just not,
Hmm.
it's not fair. It sucks. It's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, it was actually, I was 41. Just before I was 41 is when I started in the wheelchair. Like when I first met Kim and her husband,
Was
they
21,
came,
October 21.
yeah. And it was just like end of November that I couldn't walk anymore and I was in a wheelchair. So when she met me, I was using a walker. But yeah,
And
so
it's fast. It's very rapid.
hmm, oh yeah,
It's rapid and
it's
it's really
shitty.
hard. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was told I had primary progressive, they're like, oh, that's the one you don't want to get. And I'm like, I had a life, even though I had symptoms from the time I was 50-ish, but I didn't know. And
Hmm.
I'm grateful I didn't know. Like at least I had things to do and I did them. I kept thinking, well, what if I found out, I was gonna die young? Or what if I found, I said, I
Right.
sure wish I didn't work more. But I was just always very mm, kind of mindful that I should do the kind of things that I want to do that make me feel good. But I didn't
Right.
have this disease trapping me. And I'll
And
tell you, I'm in a wheelchair. I have a really fancy wheelchair, like like fancy and pretty,
oh,
and it goes up
nice.
and it goes down. And then I was trapped in my house because my driveway is really steep, and I can finally get down the driveway, but just it's very hilly and rocky here. And yeah, I'm surprised
Well,
that you only have that. Only have that. The
Manual
mo
one.
the travel one. I remember when you talked about it. I remember looking it up. I don't remember what it is. And I had somebody come from this Center for Independent Living. Fortunately,
right.
we have a love fest, so he's coming tomorrow. It's helped me get down the driveway, but still, I don't feel good going out by myself in the chair. It's going to take a really long time till I'm willing to get on a paratransit bus, and then even still, I'm not gonna go out alone. It's just overwhelming. Went out a little in my neighborhood, and that was a kind of a boost. And there's a big learning curve with a fancy chair like this. And the medical, they don't care. Okay, well, you have a chair. It's like, okay, well, it's electric. I got stuck under my desk once with it. I hardly used it since he came. I now have 31 miles on it, but I think when I met him like 2 months ago, he said, what, you had like 5 miles on the chair? But still, it sucks. It's like, no, I don't feel good going out in a wheelchair. It just,
Right. And I've, uh, in all honesty, I've developed anxiety, you know, because, I'm just, so used to being independent and, doing all this traveling, it gives me anxiety because I have to transfer from my wheelchair into an aisle chair. Then I get assisted in by the flight attendants, and then I have to rely on them to help me to make sure I don't fall when I'm doing a stand pivot to transfer. So it's
I think that's the worst, that depending on others to do
mhm,
something that you feel like you
right that you
first
can
want
do.
to do, that you know how to do better, and that it feels like an imposition. It's like, can you help me? But at the same time, can you do it in this way? Because the way that you're probably trying to do it, I know it's not gonna work. And how do
Right.
you balance all that? It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's annoying. The transferring
It's
and the showering and all that.
hmm and then I we it gets expensive for us to travel because we have to get a hotel because I need a accessible room. I need
Mm.
a roll-in shower to be able to shower. I need the grab bars in the bathroom. I need a toilet that is chair height, not
Oh, yeah.
standard height. Um, I need something that has wider doorways so I can get back and forth between like the bathroom and the main room. I need it to be more accessible. And unfortunately, all my friends out there, as much as they want to help, they all have stairs that go into their house, or they don't have the accessibility in the bathrooms, or they don't have like wide enough doors for my wheelchair to get through. So
Sucks.
it's just very expensive for me to travel and
And
to
you're
go
not,
back and forth.
and you're not where you were, because I remember, yeah, I mean, I remember how you were struggling when I first encountered you. You were still working, and you would say, "Oh, I have to still work," and and then you got your house, you got modification in the house and the
Hmm.
shower and all that, and then it's like, oh, I think about that because I have done things here, and I go, oh, you do that, and then I hear Carmen, and then, oh, that isn't enough. Oh, it's
Hmm.
still not enough. What am I going to do? I
Right.
mean, tomorrow when Ryan comes, he's going to bring another handrail for the bathroom, and I have a caregiver now, thank goodness. But I need more. And he said, "Well, I'll bring some other handrails." And it's just, I even remember when I had a rail put in my shower. I was like, "Really? It's ruining my shower." Now I have like one, two, three. I have four handrails, and I had the tub
Right.
taken out, and now I can like step into the shower. But pretty soon I'll have to transfer on a bench, and then
It feels
I
like a
had
slippery
him.
slope, doesn't it, sometimes? Like the
Yeah, and I
just
had
like
him, and I
steeper and
had
steeper.
my really wonderful contractor. Thank goodness I met him. Try to put in, and Ryan brought something like to try to put like a handrail for me to get up from the toilet. Because once got rid of the tub and had the shower put in, it didn't occur to either one of us, anybody, that oh, I can't lean on the tub to get up from the toilet. It's like it's
Yeah.
not there. So I keep like a shower chair there, which isn't so stable. And then, oh, I found out. I mean, thank goodness I found the Center for Independent Living. They come out. There's a certain, and he's tried different handrails, and I can still get up, but I have the same thing as you. My neurology department called, wanted me to come to San Francisco, and when I go there, I go visit friends. Well, can I still get up their stairs? And then they have like this tiny little toilet like
Yeah.
that's it was built in the closet for her father, and it's like, well, last time I was there I could get up, but I don't think I can get up, and I don't think I'd be able to get up from that. And I left.
Right.
I had a seat I brought to my friend who lives like 25 miles away, which I spent the night. So I had this like 4-inch seat that I brought. I remember I put it on like a picture frame. I was like, bring your own toilet frame because she built her house and she has like 3 or 4 toilets. And I'm like, she's Asian. I bet she's never put in another toilet because, oh yeah, they're all short. All my toilets are short. But just everything that you have to consider just to get out the door. It's exhausting. It's frightening. It's just, who wants to do it? And then I realized finally problem solving about the handrail thing. I do like that I have the rail in the bathroom now, and I was able to go to my dance class and hang on. And we're still going to put more handrails around. But gosh, I was so disgusted when they put in these really ugly handrails at my front door, which has a drop. It's the only way I can get my mail. So all those things are just,
It's
just another
it's
reminder.
yeah, and it's very depleting.
It is. And I'm probably going to, as I'm probably solving the bathroom thing, I can still get up, but we put in one handrail, and then he went on vacation. So he's coming back tomorrow to put another one and move a thing down. It's just a constant doing that. And I think about you, and I think about Carmen, and go, and then are we going to have to leave our homes
Soon.
Right?
Yep. That's next on my agenda. Getting lots of pressure too from my partner. Yeah.
Well,
So
guys, thank
you
you for
just
letting
feel
me
it as a
talk.
loss, but you have to just accept it. I don't know. I'm gonna look into the radical exception that you guys were talking about earlier, JC.
Radical acceptance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Christy,
it's like you have no choice.
Sorry?
It's something you have no choice. You have
I
to
know.
accept what
And
is
that's what
and what isn't.
I keep telling myself that, but myself sometimes just doesn't listen because she's a little feisty.
That's why it's called radical.
I'm gonna work it.
and Christy, cut yourself some slack. You've gone through a hell of a lot of stuff in over a year. I think it was beginning of last year where you had the swelling in your leg, and then the wound popped, and then you were in the hospital for over like a month or so, and then you
Yeah.
moved across country. I mean, a lot
and
of
the baclofen pump and the
yeah,
pain and the
and then
struggling for
you thought you
every
had
little
all
thing?
your Mayo Clinic stuff figured out, and then just whoop, oh, we're changing insurance. No, now so give
Yeah.
yourself cut yourself some
And
slack.
hey, you
You've been
took a
through a hell of a lot.
vacation. Like on
Yeah,
top of all of that, you took a
yeah,
vacation. Like that's bravery, girl.
yeah. So, I mean, you've
I'm
Not
I'm
just a
been
s-
through a
vacation,
lot,
a
yeah.
cruise.
yeah, I'm still recovering from that.
Of
Absolutely,
course.
absolutely. That's what I mean. Cut yourself some slack. You've been through a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know the list of the different stressful, what are the most stressful things in the world? You kind of had a bunch of them, okay? In a short
Yeah.
I think
period of time.
I think I hit all of them.
You didn't get the divorce one, which we're grateful. We love Steve.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
You guys, I gotta get going. I've got an air conditioner sitting right beside me because we have a little bit of an extension that doesn't have a central AC, and I am an ice cube. But it's been great seeing all of you. But I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
was great seeing you too, Carmen. I actually have to go too because Steve is cooking dinner
Yeah, me
and
too.
it's already almost 8 o'clock here.
Oh my
So
gosh, we just have too much fun together, don't we?
yeah.
so
I
our
hope
next
everyone has a good couple weeks and surfaces from whatever is ailing us.
our next
Yes.
meeting
Effing
is in
MS.
2 weeks, the 24th, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. I may or may not be there. I don't know. Wednesday next week, I have rotator cuff surgery because I didn't
Oh,
have enough surgery last year. So,
so
yeah,
much for your roller, or what are you doing? Roller? No, dancing?
rotator cuff,
Road.
rotator cuff
No, no,
surgery.
no, no. But you haven't been able to make it to
Oh,
the daytime
oh no! I
Because
had the
a
tap.
dance.
I had the
tap
dance
dance.
recital in beginning of May,
Right,
and
right.
the classes interfered with the night, so I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
want to miss
Right,
the
right, right.
classes. So I could actually look like learn the dance and actually do it for the recital, which I did.
Good.
Can I ask you about rotator cuff surgery? Because
Bye.
I have an impinged shoulder, but I'm not clear what